Have you ever dreamed of strapping a Rolex onto your wrist without the agony of those never-ending waitlists at authorized dealers? If so, stick around because we're diving into some crafty tactics that just might get you that Rolex sooner than you think. Now we can almost hear some of you scoffing at the idea. No way, that's just wishful thinking, you might say. And sure, if you're that skeptical, this might not be your cup of tea. But if you've got a little hope and a dash of patience, you'll want to keep watching. Let's be honest, the past couple of years have left many watch enthusiasts feeling a bit cynical. Sometimes we wonder if life would be simpler, not knowing how tough it is to snag that iconic timepiece. It's not like you can just stroll into a store and pick one up, though wouldn't that be nice? Yet, here's a thought. What if it isn't as Herculean a task as it seems? Lucky for you, we've got some juicy tips for you in this video. Let's cut through the noise and get straight to the heart of the matter. It's simpler than you think, and who knows, maybe after this video, you'll be the one sharing tips with a smug, told you so grin. Number 1. Step into the store. Let's start with the basics. Make your way to the store. Yes, physically. In a digital age where everyone's default is a quick call or a swift email, actually walking into the store really sets you apart. Think about it. Your email is just a drop in an ocean of digital communication that bombards these sellers daily. But you showing up in person, with that spark of interest in your eyes? Unforgettable. Take your time when you visit. I mean, each Rolex is a narrative wrapped around a piece of art. Try them on, feel the weight, ask about their stories and how to keep them ticking perfectly. It's not just about interest, it's about demonstrating commitment. Remember, the staff are the gatekeepers to the world of horology. Impress them with your genuine curiosity, and they'll be more than willing to help you navigate your way to the perfect watch. Number 2, build a solid connection. Moving on from just showing up, let's talk about building a genuine rapport with your dealer. Forget small talk, it's about creating meaningful interactions that make you memorable. Start by remembering names and details. Chat about more than just watches. Perhaps share a tale from your last adventure or your trials in Italian cooking. Who knows, your story about the world's saltiest pasta could be the anecdote that keeps you in their minds. Over time, these conversations build more than just a buyer-seller relationship. They forge a bond based on mutual respect and personal connection. When the time comes and that sought-after Rolex lands in the store, who do you think they'll remember? The guy who brightened their day with a laugh about culinary disasters, or someone who's just another name in their inbox? Cultivating this connection takes patience and sincerity, but it's what puts you in pole position to get your dream watch without the soul-crushing wait. Before we go further, why not become part of the Opulent Oasis tribe? Subscribe and get the latest content first. Let's dive back in. Number 3, keep showing up. Once you've made those initial standout impressions, it's crucial not to vanish into thin air. Imagine telling a salesperson, "I'm looking for a Submariner," then just waiting by your phone. It's a common blunder, shouting your wish into the void and hoping it echoes back someday. Here's the thing. While you might have bonded with Joe, the friendly sales guy, over your shared love of vintage jazz, Joe's week doesn't end with you. He chats with dozens more, and by Friday, your conversation is just a pleasant haze in his packed week. To keep from becoming just another face, keep the visits consistent. Swing by during store events or check out the latest releases, even if they're not Rolex. Make these visits more about nurturing your relationship than a direct sales pitch. And when you do drop in, book a time with Joe in advance, ensuring he's free to chat without the weekend rush. As you discuss other watches, gently nudge about that Rolex you've been eyeing. This strategy is all about balance. Be a familiar, friendly presence without tipping into nuisance territory. Number 4, dive deep into the Rolex realm. Now let's talk about really getting into the Rolex world. You don't need to be a walking encyclopedia, but showing a keen grasp of Rolex's history, iconic models, and the tech behind them can really set you apart. Engaging in knowledgeable discussions not only impresses your dealer, but also cements your status as a serious enthusiast. Try to sync your visits with their delivery schedules, because this timing could be your golden opportunity. What if you walk in just as a new shipment arrives, and there's your salesperson, Joe, who's already in a great mood from a successful delivery day? With the stars aligned and your well-timed visit, you might just find yourself going home with that Rolex Daytona you've been dreaming about. Remember, it's about being at the right place at the right time, with the right amount of Rolex savvy. Number 5. Dive into the Rolex world. Don't just be a fan of Rolex, be its historian, its enthusiast, its advocate. Knowing your stuff about the brand's history, the evolution of its models, and the unique mechanics behind each piece sets you apart from the casual shopper. This isn't about flaunting knowledge, it's about sharing a passion that resonates with those who breathe Rolex every day. Plan your visits around the store's delivery schedule. Nothing says, "I'm serious," like being there when the new stock rolls in. It's like aligning the stars but with calendars and watches. A well-timed question or insightful comment when Joe is basking in the glow of a fresh Rolex shipment can make all the difference. It's about being there right when opportunity clocks in. Your informed enthusiasm not only shows your commitment, but also makes you a memorable ally in the world of luxury watches. After all, who wouldn't want to sell a Rolex to someone who could probably write their next ad campaign? Keep every interaction rich with knowledge and light with enthusiasm. It's not just about buying a watch, but about celebrating a legacy. Number 6. Embrace the waiting game. Now onto the step that's as easy to preach as it is tough to practice: patience. Let's be real, this isn't a sprint. Securing a Rolex through an authorized dealer isn't something you tick off over a weekend. It's more like running a marathon, where endurance and patience are your best buddies. You've got to settle in for the long haul, and trust me, it's worth it. Think of it this way: if snagging a Rolex was as easy as grabbing a latte, would it feel as special? Probably not. There's a reason these watches are coveted, and part of that allure is their exclusivity. So while you're following all these steps, visiting the store, chatting up Joe, learning the ins and outs of Rolex, remember that good things come to those who wait. And waiting for something as timeless as a Rolex? Well, it just adds to the story you'll tell when you finally strap it on your wrist. But hey, if patience isn't your strongest suit and the ticking of the clock is just too loud, there are always other paths. You might consider exploring unofficial dealers or taking a dive into the online marketplace. Just a heads up though, going off the authorized path can be a bit like the Wild West. Exciting, but with a few more tumbleweeds. Whatever route you choose, don't let the fear of a little waiting time dim your Rolex dreams. After all, the wait isn't just a delay, it's a build-up to that moment when you finally get to say, "This, my friends, is my Rolex." And that's a wrap. Have you tried any of these strategies before, or do you have some secret tips of your own? Drop your stories and questions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this chat, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell so you won't miss any of our future videos here in Opulent Oasis. And check out our other content for more watch wisdom and horology hacks. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll catch you in the next one.